Good evening, everyone. How are you all doing? All right.
Yeah.
Welcome to 2018 CEDA National Champions. It wasn't until I stepped into this role that I realized how much work goes into making CEDA Nationals happen, all of the tournaments happen, to have a full season, to collect all the data, and just make it a success. So I want to thank a lot of people for making this happen and let you know about some of those people, because I think as students, at least for me, I had no idea who all of these people were or what they were doing or why they mattered. And now I know. It's been an incredibly intense and daunting process. So first I want to say thank you to ML Sandos. ML, if you don't know, is our treasurer, and she's also the director of debate at Vanderbilt, but she's so much more than that. She has a role in the shadows as treasurer. She manages our budget. She makes sure that we can survive year after year, especially in a kind of difficult time where the academy is under attack, and we're feeling that in the debate community too. But through this whole process, she's been there. She's been on speed dial whenever I need to figure out some kind of logistical crisis or some kind of ethical moment that's a challenge that needs addressing. Emil's been someone that I can reach out to. She has an immense amount of institutional knowledge. She's been doing this for a long time, and honestly, I don't think that this community would run without her. So I want to say thank you to ML. I also want to thank Scott Herndon. Scott Herndon is our secretary and is the director of the University of Texas at Dallas. Also behind the scenes, but basically oversees the gathering of ballots when people go to nominate people for awards, collects all of that, figures out how to, I guess the system was hacked this year, a number of things that you wouldn't know about. The CEDA website was hacked. He overcame various glitches in the system. And it's the reason why we know what's going on. So I want to give a shout out to Scott Herndon. And I want to thank Scott Harris, who's the director at the University of Kansas, who's our second VP, and is about to also intimately experience all of the things. It's going to be a beautiful year for you. I wish you all luck. But Scott's also organized all of the nominations, oversaw the awards committee, and will be handing out the awards tonight. So I want to give it up to Scott. And then also Patrick Waldinger, our second vice president, will be live streaming the rounds that throws all the shine onto all of you. And he'll also be taking photos over here when you come up to receive your awards. So let's give it up for Patrick. Just gonna keep thanking people. Also, thank you to the rest of the executive committee, to our regional representatives who make CEDA accountable to the various locales that we all exist in. Thank you to our new officers who are going to be taking up the work required to keep this running. Thank you personally to Vic Keenan for talking me through all of the nuts and bolts of how this thing operates, who also has an immense amount of institutional knowledge and does so many things behind the scenes also to make this community run. And then most importantly, thank you to all of you who get up, especially the debaters, who get up in front of their peers, who put in an immense amount of intellectual labor to get the good argument, to honor your opponents. This is the people's tournament. This is the fucking people's tournament. It's not about whether or not you are in the top 16 of the country according to certain people's judgments. It's not about whether or not you can matter only because you won certain rounds or looked very good in front of certain people. And I don't want to shade anyone for being at the top of their fucking game. Congratulations to you. But I also want to recognize that every time a round happens, every time a round happens, 50% of the field has lost that debate. And they've lost that debate and made it possible for other people to win those debates. And so I want to say thank you for being here, because debate is difficult and debate is rewarding, but you came, and you're going to do amazing things this weekend. And so thank you to you. Honor those losses as much as you honor those wins. Celebrate them in yourself and celebrate them in each other. And I want to say, this year we ended up at the very last minute moving the tournament. It was supposed to be at Wichita, Kansas, where the NDT will be taking place, because a huge number of folks in our community would not have been able to attend the tournament. Certain states, notably California, has instituted a travel ban to other states that have passed, egregiously unethical laws. And that affects our community too, because the outside world affects us as well. And so we decided to move our tournament, and it makes all the more difference that you're here in light of that fact. So thank you for that. Finally, I want to thank Derek Bruscher and Brittany Williams. Derek is the director of the University of Puget Sound. Derek is the director of the University of Puget Sound, and Brittany has been the head coach of the team. And for Brittany, although she has sought other amazing opportunities, has really stepped her damn game up and made this tournament happen. And so really I want to really hand it out to Derek and Brittany. This tournament certainly wouldn't exist. There would be a huge portion of the community who couldn't even be here if it wasn't for them. So thank you for your tireless efforts in making this a success and making this run. And so to move a little bit into some logistics, I want to make a note on the change in the schedule and explain why. So on Saturday, we will be pushing back the triple octas pairing release from 10 in the morning to 11 in the morning. That'll push all of our rounds back by an hour. And what we're going to do instead in that hour is have a discrimination and sexual harassment info session. I think that this year has a lot of things have happened. For example, the Me Too movement. A lot of more unfortunate things have happened that have highlighted what is highlighted, unfortunately, over and over and over again, which is the kinds of toxic behaviors and forms of violation that happen in our community like everywhere else. And I think that we don't do enough to at the very least, let people know what resources are available to them. And so we'll be having an info session in that hour at 10 o'clock on Saturday morning to just kind of talk about that and to kind of go through what resources are available, what we can and can't do, because both of those are important. Also, I want to let you all know that we have an official title, Discrimination and Sexual Harassment Committee, filled by 3 people, and those 3 people are Aaliyah Shahid at San Francisco State University, Teddy Albiniak at San Francisco State University, and Sam Godby at West Virginia University. And these are people that, should you have some kind of conflict, you can seek them out. They're there for you to talk with, to guide you to various resources that you can use if you are in need of an accommodation. We can get together and figure out what that could be. And so it's just good to know that they're around. Yeah. So before I hand it over to Derek, good luck to everyone this weekend. Just want to celebrate all your efforts, see all your rounds. I don't have to judge any of them. So good luck and congratulations.
That's not. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
No. Did I shut it off? Now you can. Excellent. I want to welcome you all to the University of Puget Sound and to the Pacific Northwest. It is our great honor to be able to host this tournament this year, and I'm thrilled that you are all here. I do want to cover a few logistics as well, most of which is just kind of repeating some and highlighting some elements that are in the packet that you've probably already seen and hopefully read through. Before that I do that, though, I also want to thank a couple of people, and one who has not been thanked yet, who needs to have your thanks and your applause. Amber Kelsey, the CEDA president, who's done a tremendous She's right, putting the tournament together is a lot of work. Running the organization is a tremendous amount of work, and I think that they've done a fantastic job, and you ought to be congratulating and thanking Amber every chance you get throughout this weekend. In addition, I also want to thank ML Sandos, who has been so responsive to helping process the information for this tournament and has just been a tremendous support. And as Amber said, works in the shadows in ways that you cannot understand, but you can see when you see things come together and work. So one more round of applause for her. Amber's already thanked Brittany. I also want to thank Brittany Williams. I would not have put in this bid had it not been for Brittany. You probably would not have t-shirts had it not been for Brittany. She told me that was an essential facet of the tournament, and without t-shirts we were a complete failure. So we have t-shirts for you. Hopefully you like them, and that is very much due to Brittany. But Brittany has been working with us now for the past 3 years. And I have never seen anyone who works so tirelessly with debate while also working another job right now, still coming down to commit to students in just a tremendous way, and works with, for our program, one that was sort of on the cusp of maybe falling out of CEDA completely or out of policy debate completely, has revitalized that aspect of our program in incredible ways, and I am indebted to the ways in which Brittany has managed that, and I want to thank her as well. I also want to thank Austin Brittenham, our policy and parliamentary debate coach, who's in the back here. Many of you know Austin from competing as well as from judging this year. Austin has been just a stalwart for me, and as Brittany has sort of stepped away from coaching, I know I can always lean on Austin for anything that I need in terms of the program, and he's been tremendous in coaching, in managing logistics, and helping the team navigate a variety of issues, and I want to thank Austin as well. One more thank you from me, which is to my team, who have also been very supportive and are excited to have you here. We have 6 people debating. We have 1 person who is volunteering. The rest you don't have to thank because they all fled because it's spring break. But you should thank at least those 7 people, and hopefully you'll vote for them too. Okay, so moving on to some logistic issues. I've been told that my basic job here is to tell you not to burn the campus down, so please do not burn the campus down. But in the way of saying that, treat the campus with respect as you would your own, as you would, of course, any campus that you're going to. It's an honor for us to be able to host this. We have the most amazing facilities and dining conference services staff that you can possibly imagine. They work tirelessly, and they will continue to pick up all your trash if you leave it out, but I would encourage you to probably hopefully pick up your own stuff and put it away if you can. But they are fantastic, so I would also like you to recognize the work that they do, the labor that oftentimes goes unnoticed, particularly at debate tournaments, and to respect that they also have to do a lot of extra work for you all being here. So please take care of them in your own ways. Okay, so don't burn the campus down. We also have, I've given you some directions here. I would assume most of you are just going to use your phone navigation systems or Waze. I would encourage you to do that because you should be a little skeptical of the directions that I have down here. Parking, 2 primary parking lots, just to remind you, that are right near Wheelock Student Center, which is where we will be located and headquartered out of, which is where all the food is and some of the debates will be taking place, and where Tavern will be. The first one is off of North 14th and Alder, which is due south of Wheelock Student Center, which sits pretty much at North 15th. The other parking lot, overflow lot that you can go to, you can park pretty much anywhere on campus right now because it's spring break, but the easiest one is probably about North 17th and 18th, just 1 block up or 1 block west of Alder on Warner. So those are the 2 primary places for parking if you can't find things. We are condensing the buildings that we're using, so what's in the packet, we're actually using fewer buildings. We'll be in Wheelock Student Center, in Howarth Hall, which is, you can throw a small rock and hit it from Wheelock Student Center, McIntyre Hall, and then Thompson Hall as well. And I think that that's pretty much where we've consolidated things down to. Smoking, I know a lot of you like to smoke. That's fine. We are not a non-smoking campus, but I would ask that you discard your cigarette butts appropriately, snuff them out and put them in garbage cans. Those can leave a tremendous mess. And with 200, 250 of you smoking a pack of cigarettes a day, perhaps, it's a lot of cigarette butts that can end up on a college campus. So please take care of that. Hospitality room will be in McIntyre 103. We'll have some supplemental snacks for you if you need them, granola bars and nuts. Apparently I did not get a decent enough chip spread. Brittany told me that people were even complaining about the Texas chip spread because it wasn't sufficient enough. So I have, just so you know, I have 0 chips for you. I just outed somebody. I apologize. I didn't quote you. All right. We have no chips for you, but we do have other good snacks, so stop by. I also have pens and paper if you run out of. I've got a bunch of G2s. Don't just come grab them all, but if you need something, come in and get some stuff. Quiet room is also in McIntyre. It's in an auditorium room. It's fairly dark, fairly quiet, so if you need some space and get away from things, that's the place to do it. It's in McIntyre 003, right below the hospitality room. I think that that's all I really have for you right now. Unless there's anything else I want to cover. I want to, again, welcome you to campus and just give you my appreciation for being here. It is a true honor that you're here. In having Stephen Hawking pass away last night, I was thinking a little bit about his contributions to the ways in which we think about the world in which we live and the universe in which we live, which led me back to, I'm just going to take a brief moment here, Carl Sagan. And one of my favorite things that Carl Sagan talked about was the pale blue dot when Voyager turned around and took an image of Earth that was kind of cast in this, what looked like some sunbeam. It looked like it was like 1 pixel big. It was a small dot. I'm not going to replay the whole thing for you for what Carl Sagan talked about, but what Carl Sagan did suggest was that everything that we've ever known, lived, loved, lost has lived on that small speck that is caught in the sunbeam, and every conflict that we've had has been resolved there. We come to this place where that's all we have, right? And here, this is what we have. This is our community. As competitive that we get over a course of a weekend doing debates, we are also future collaborators and co-conspirators, hopefully, in reforming and making this world a better place for us to live. So I want you to think about that as this is what we have, this is our community, go at it, debate hard, but come together and consider yourselves as collaborators and co-conspirators in this process as well. Thank you so much for coming.
I'm going to hand it over to Scott, but I wanted to say 2 quick things. One is I completely left out somebody to thank, which is Joe Patrice and Catherine Rubino, who are tabbing the tournament for us. So thank you to them for actually making these rounds happen. I have been told by somebody whose name shall not be named that though weed is legal here, it would be incredibly unwise to smoke weed openly on the campus. you may be arrested, just so you know. All right. Scott. There we go. That was good. Oh, yeah.
I want to first echo Derek in thanking the person that Amber did not thank, and that is Amber Kelsey, for all the hard work that she has put forward into making this happen. She has been a guidance and a mentor to me in this process, answering endless emails for me and trying to give me some suggestions on what it is that I ought to be doing. And you should also be aware that that means, just like you're essentially doing both the presidential and the vice presidential duties this year, next year my expectations, my endless questions, you'll be doing the ex-president and the president's duties as well. I also want to thank the members of the awards committee who did all of the hard work in reading all the nominating files and putting together in a rather short time frame the awards nominations and the award selections process. I'd like to thank Shannara Reed Brinkley, Mike Davis, Latoya Williams-Green, Patrick Waldinger, Jaleesa Hampton, Michael Souders, and Lindsay Shook for all of their hard work. Tonight we're going to be presenting just a handful of the awards. The majority of the awards we'll be presenting Saturday night. Tonight we'll be presenting the Public Advocate Award, the Public Debate Award. We will be recognizing the Critics of the Year and identifying some of the judges who will be in the final round panel. And then we will have the All-American Awards and the All-Academic Awards presented to students tonight. The first award that we are giving is the Public Advocate Award. This year, the Cross-Examination Debate Association would like to recognize the students of Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School for their public advocacy. Today seems like a particularly appropriate day to recognize those students, given the thousands of students across the country who participated in walkouts and challenges. In many instances, students walking out at schools where their administration or their teachers were not supportive and allowing those walkouts to take place. My own youngest son is a high school freshman, and in Lawrence, Kansas, the schools have been very supportive of the opportunity for those students to engage in those protests. The students of Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School have demonstrated that young people's voices matter. That as those voices have been tried to be silenced on Twitter or made fun of, or told that as young people your voices don't mean anything, they have demonstrated that persistent advocacy can have an impact. And while many of those impacts have thus far only been marginal, they are significant. The fact that the state of Florida has passed, albeit minor steps in the direction of gun control, the fact that the state of Florida has made those changes is remarkable. The state of Oregon has made changes. Corporations have started to question their connections to the National Rifle Association, and they have begun to demonstrate that public advocacy matters. A second thing that those students do that I think makes it appropriate for us to recognize them is that they have become symbols of debate. They have brought attention to the power of debate training and how it impacts on individuals. There are many members of the national media who have credited the debate training that those students have received as one of the reasons that they have been so successful and powerful advocates for change. Kyra Gurney, a reporter for the Miami Herald, wrote that what really explains the students' poise is the school district's system-wide debate program. Every public high school and middle school in the county has a debate program. It's one of the largest debate programs in the country, and it has helped Broward students position themselves on the front lines of the #NeverAgain movement. The debate program has certainly helped prepare David Hogg. He said, "It's been immensely helpful because I've been able to speak articulately about these current events." And they've brought attention to debate, and I think it is only appropriate that we recognize the contributions that they have made this year as public advocates and that they will make going forward. At Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School, there is a banner that quotes Marjorie Stoneman Douglas. The school is named after her. She was an environmentalist, a journalist, an activist. She played a significant role in preservation activities in the Florida Everglades. That sign reads, "Be a nuisance when it counts." Do your part to inform and stimulate the public to join your action. Be depressed, discouraged, and disappointed at failure and the disheartening effects of ignorance, greed, corruption, and bad politics, but never give up. The second award that we would like to give tonight, and we will be mailing a plaque to Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School in honor and recognition of the contributions that they have made to public discourse in America. The second award is the National Public Debate Award, which is designed to recognize the activities that various programs engage in providing outlets for debate that aren't just competitive tournament programs, but allow community involvement, campus debates, taking debate to prisons, taking debate to high schools and elementary schools. In reading the files of those schools that were nominated for this year's award, I find myself at a program like the University of Kansas to be humbled at the hard work, the amount of effort that goes into not just traveling a competitive debate program, but taking time to make debate be something that is meaningful to all of the students on your campus, to programs in your community, to taking it to those that are disadvantaged and don't get the opportunities to participate in debate, is a remarkable and amazing achievement. And I think all of tonight's nominees have done an incredible job, and all of them deserve to be recognized and honored. The first award we would like to recognize is honorable mention goes to the University of Southern California. The third place award winner coming forward to accept a plaque is Binghamton University. And I believe they are still in transit. Yeah. The second place winner is James Madison University. And the first place winner, Rutgers University, Newark. Demonstrated beyond a doubt that you can dominate in competitive activities and dominate taking debate to outside communities as well. The third award that I'd like to present tonight is for the Critic of the Year for the various regions around the country. If you are present in receiving an award, please come forward and receive your plaque. Matt Reichley, representing the South Central. Representing the Southeast region, Allison Parker. Representing the Northeast region, Christy Webster. Representing the Mid-Atlantic, Adrian Barbero. Representing the Pacific region, Devin Cooper. Representing the Mid-America region, George Lee. And representing the West region, from Puget Sound, Austin Brittingham. The regions have also selected individuals to serve on the final round panel. That panel will be composed of these individuals and additional members that will be added to it. So those of you that are anticipating your performance in the final round, 5 of your judges will be Lindsay Shook, Joe Patrice, Devin Cooper, Austin Brittenham, and George Lee. And Shannara Reed-Brinkley. All right, now we want to recognize you, the performance of students. This is for anyone who's tasked with the honor and responsibility of reading out the names and recognizing students. This is a moment of danger, a moment of embarrassment, because I will apologize in advance that it is inevitable that some of your names are likely to be mispronounced. And I recognize that that's an important thing. It's not a trivial thing to mispronounce individuals' names. In some of the training programs that we've been undergoing as faculty at the university, the recognition that mispronouncing someone's name can be an act of microaggression. It can be an act that can be problematic when you're a teacher in a class. One of the changes that I have made when I teach classes now is that I do not the first day read the roll and call out and guess how students' names are pronounced. Instead, I have been instructed that the better way to do that is to let students introduce themselves the first day of class. It is not possible for me to have you call your own names out and claim the awards. Instead, I need to read your names. And so if I mispronounce your name, I apologize in advance. First, we will recognize the All-American debaters. The All-American debaters are those who demonstrate excellence in school academically, excellence in debate performatively, and excellence in their program and in their community with the contributions that they make to debate to make it a better place for all of us. From the University of Central Florida, Ariel Olson. Her name is called. Please come forward. And please stay up here because we're going to take a group picture of everybody. From the University of Southern California, Aaron Berger. From Emporia University, Eric Singleton. From Wake Forest University, Brent Mitchell. From Arizona State University, Bren Ram. From Arizona State University, Ryan Ferdosian. From the University of Iowa, Brooke Kimbrough. From Wyoming, Carter Henman. From Wake Forest University, Charles Anathalopoulos. From Rutgers University, Newark, Chaz Rutt-Weish. From the University of Louisville, Chanel Williams. From Cornell, David Rooney. From the University of Louisville, DeAndre Yergin. Special recognition achieving the status of All-American as a freshman, an outstanding achievement. Yeah! From the University of Central Florida, Ethan Ulich. From Cornell, Gabriella Knight. From the University of Iowa, Giordano Liriano. From the University of Southern California, Hex Larson. From the United States Military Academy, Isabella Minter. From UMKC, Jaden Kroger. From Binghamton, James Allen. From the University of Oklahoma, Jasmine Pickens. From Binghamton, Jeffrey Young. From James Madison, Joseph Conrad. From Johnson County Community College, Joss Moncourt. Not interesting to any of you particularly, but Josh has challenged the University of Kansas versus Johnson County Community College to a basketball game, which we will be organizing after the season is over. He talked a lot of trash last weekend, so we'll find out.
Be ready, dude.
From the University of Central Oklahoma, L. Moore. From Rutgers University, Newark, Luis Carrera. From the University of Wichita, Luke Roy. From Washington, McKenna Maines. From the University of Oklahoma, Nicholas Juarez. From Fullerton, Oscar Rosa Vieira. From UMKC, Parker Mitchell. From the University of Kansas, Coron Robinson. From Fullerton, Raul Ruano. I wanted to back up 1 second and say happy birthday to Coron Robinson because it was her birthday.
Happy birthday!
And while not here, she is close with her mother and grandmother an hour away from here. James Madison University, Ryan Wardak. From Johnson County Community College, Sarah Coble. From Wyoming, Spencer Colbert. And last but hardly least, from Emporia, Squid Monty. Ladies and gentlemen, your All-American team. You need to bring them.
Yeah, I think
you need to. No camera's gonna get that.
Y'all gotta act like y'all like each other.
Do y'all want to stand over there? Do y'all want to stand?
Yeah, right here.
Or put them all up here on the stage.
I was looking at you. Oh, yeah.
Would that work better?
I think we'll get it. As long as we stay within our table, we should be good. So some can go up on the stage if necessary. I'm not going to be able to. Yeah, so maybe on the stage too.
Organizational decision stand skills.
There we go. I like this. I gotta come in. Basically, we're taking it. All right, let's go.
I was
Yeah. All right.
Well, we only get flags, so we don't bring another people. Well, they still had good accountability. Oh, yeah. we'll have, because there's only like 7. So we do them in sections. Do the honorable mentions first. And we'll. So I can't draw. If we've done the flags, we'll just take pictures and we'll say, more research into flags.
This is what you want to take it from me.
Make this go faster, we'll just come out. Well, we don't need to hand the other fat bros either, though, right? And we're going to do Okay, we'll have only the Sonata come forward, and those will come up. All right. That makes sense. Because we want to get.
Yeah, Derek, he didn't know what the number was. 103. And the elevator is actually
Good idea. You still did take my video. And I'm surprised that. It's in my comment.
All right, the last award that we're going to recognize tonight are the Academic All-American Awards. You are an incredible group of students. I was blown away when we reviewed the applications for the academic awards this year. There were over 100 students receiving academic honor recognition. There are over 40 individuals in the highest category. So there are a lot of individual names that I'm going to be calling. So we're going to try and logistically make this operate in a relatively quick fashion. I am going to call the names of individuals in each of the categories. We will recognize those individuals, but we will be here all night if every individual comes up. We will ask at the end, if you are in the summa cum laude category, to come up and be recognized. We'll take a photo, and then if you are in the other categories, come up afterwards, and we will take pictures of you to get recognition for your academic status. Does that make sense? Right? Honorable mention academic scholars, which means a grade point average between 3.0 and 3.25. McKenna Maines of the University of Washington. Chanel Williams of the University of Louisville. Sabrina Sanger of Monmouth University. Joey Conrad, James Madison. Samantha Thies, James Madison. Danny Mingo, James Madison. Parker Hopkins, Missouri State University. The next group of individuals have grade point averages between 3.25 and 3.5 and are recognized as cum laude academic scholars. Luke Roy, Wichita State. Param Robinson, University of Kansas. Chris Fry, University of Kansas. Cecilia Sergio, James Madison. Ashley Harris, James Madison. Elizabeth Kaiser, University of Mary Washington. Carter Henman, University of Wyoming. Brennan Schartz, University of Missouri, Kansas City. Jillian Wellborn, University of Minnesota. Josiah Ferguson, Minnesota. Levi Grimes, Liberty. Megan Muldoon, Liberty. Marla Huco, Fullerton. Yasmin Vargas, Fullerton. Nicolette Bencito, Fullerton. Michaelia Dickerson, Missouri State. Danielle Broadway, Long Beach. Nick Watke, Emporia. Nick Nave, Rutgers, University, Newark. The next group of individuals are magna cum laude, grade point averages between 3.5 and 3.75. Woo! Lauren Christie, Central Florida. Ariel Olson, Central Florida. Adam Tomasi, Wake Forest. Burton Reddy, Wake Forest. Victoria Yonter, Georgia. Emily Mendelson, Binghamton. Tamir Cohen, Binghamton. El Moore, Central Florida. Rohan Hyatt, Washington. Nicholas Juarez, Oklahoma. Alexis Vasquez, Monmouth. Jasmine Pickens, Oklahoma. Trail Davis, Wayne State. Jennifer Anton, Wayne State. Jamie Welch, Wichita State. Liz Brenneman, Central Oklahoma. Ryan Wardak, JMU. Sarah Conroy, JMU. Abiz Sadai, JMU. Parker Kuhn, Mary Washington. Gabriel Lewis, Mary Washington. John Habler, Mary Washington. Spencer Culver, Wyoming. Kenneth Harris, UMKC. Amelia Rittenauer, Liberty. Sean Stewart, Liberty. Michael Harrington, Liberty. Chase Dobler, Missouri State. Gabe Morrison, Missouri State. Nicholas Swihart, the New School. Jackson Booth, New York University. Faizan Hussein, NYU. Carlos Marati, Rutgers. Andre Moncolt, Rutgers. The last group of individuals have grade point averages between 3.75 and 4.0. If you are present, we would like you to come up do we have an answer to our? Yeah, we have some of the plaques here. We are unclear where some of the plaques are at this particular point in time.
Shout out to the people serving!
Your achievement is more important than the hard work. David Manugian, Central Florida. Anna Jerlina, Central Florida. Ethan Ulick, Central Florida. Daniel Wu, Central Florida. Charvin Schenk, Wake Forest. Brent Mitchell, Wake Forest. X Larson, USC. Aaron Berger, USC. Alicia Alfieri, Binghamton. James Allen, Binghamton. Amy Williamson, Binghamton. Jane Lee, Miami. Julia Elise Lynch, Miami. Ryan Hartman, Washington. Kyoko Saneda, Washington. Landon Myers, Monmouth. Christina Curtis, Wayne State. Daniel Saunders, Wichita State. Mariah Windus, Sanford. Will Katz, Kansas. Jacob Hegna, Kansas. Antonia Scott, UMKC. Minha Juk, UMKC. Albert Lee, Minnesota. Jalisa Omala, Liberty. Hannah Allison, Liberty. Austin Alvord, Liberty. Alexa Cattall, Liberty. Caitlin Wicks, Missouri State. Kylie Evans, Arizona State. Bren Ram, Arizona State. Lauren Barney, Arizona State. Tanzil Chowdhury, Arizona State. Grace Song, The New School. Alex Rickard, Emporia. Missy Engelbert, Emporia. Jinli Chang, NYU. Carrie Luau, NYU. Bright Lin Bu, NYU. Aaron Shukowski, New York, NYU. Gloria Zhang, NYU. Impressive job, NYU. Kate Scalaro, Florida. Congratulations. For me as a coach, this academic performance is incredibly important because I just met a recruit yesterday in my office with a mother, and one of the questions parents and students ask is, does debate trade off with my ability to get good grades? And your proof that that is not true is helpful to all of us in convincing people to debate. Thank you. Oh, that's not bad. So we'll give these, let's take out the names to the witness and see where we're at.
Thank you.
All right. Okay, here we go. So that we have a visual representation of how all right. Hey!
All right, so before we wrap up, we have hella food outside. If you want to make a sandwich, take it back with you. That's just going to go to waste if you don't eat it. So go grab yourself a sandwich. That was really my last announcement. Good luck. Have fun. Kick ass. Enjoy yourself. That's a great question.
Right after. You're supposed to come out right after. You're supposed to last right after.
Oh, Parents will come out right after this. That's right.
I got it on my phone.